I'm a little bit nervous of how negative you're going to go. I don't like it.
It's fifth period, the party's fifth period. Get headphones and hear it, let me hit that vibraco. Let me hit that vibraco.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fifth Period, the film podcast hosted by two media teachers, where today we are once again dipping our toes back into the Cretaceous Period to cap off the original Jurassic Park trilogy. My name is Mr. Brown, and with me as always is...
Boylan.
Alan.
Yeah,
nice.
That
That's
was
good.
It's Mr. Boylan. I'm keen to be back in the Jurassic Park franchise. Wish it was a slightly different film, but we do need to finish the trilogy. Yeah, we'll get into it.
In addition to our main discussion of Jurassic Park 3 today, we will also be chatting about some weekly watches. So if you want to skip ahead to that segmente, I will leave time codes in the description below.
Hello, my name is An, and today we're talking about Jurassic Park 3.
A big thank you to An for her intro to the pod today. Now, neither of us teach An this year, but I had her for Year 9 Media last year. And she was actually in that James Bond film group. You know, we talked about Archie and Mark making a Bond parody.
Oh, the iconic.
The iconic one. I mean, we've almost had the whole cast on here. It was such a good film, and we also really championed An for being a very talented member of the junior production last year.
Smashed it.
It
was a very, very good part of running commentary.
Really was. So I was psyched that she volunteered to do the intro for today. And we were having a good chat with her afterwards. Her brother's doing a film at the moment.
Yes.
She was trying to help him come up with some ideas for his film.
Who better to go to?
Well, absolutely. We weren't that good with our ideas.
Usually
that
we're
day.
great.
Usually, yeah.
Put us on an off day.
100%. But I love that even though she's not doing media at the moment, she's still creative and supporting her brother. So that's great.
Love that.
Thanks heaps, An. Let's jump in. Now, this is our fourth film.
By Joey Jojo.
Wait, Joey Jojo!
Joe Johnson. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, the Page Master.
Jumanji. And now this one. I actually wouldn't mind doing one of his other films, The Rocketeer.
Okay, I've never seen The Rocketeer.
It's good fun.
He's got a credit on a bunch of other ones we've done as well. I didn't bother writing him down, but I think he's Iron Giant and stuff like that. So
Captain America First Avenger.
Oh, he's been littered on the pod. But you're not a huge fan of this effort.
Not really.
I really like this one.
Okay.
I know.
Good for you.
I mean, we've already done a ranking on it. Feel free to go check that out. We're doing a re-release this week with some visuals, but I really think this one cops a lot of unjust flack. It has its flaws, 100%, and we're going to talk about them today.
100 flaws.
Yeah. But I just think everyone gives it so much shit, and I don't think it deserves the criticism it gets.
Okay. I just think it's really clear in this film how much of a mess production was.
Yes.
In terms of the script changing, because I think like you said, there are good ideas in this film that I'm like, cool. But I think the sum of its parts is not very good. I don't think it sticks the landing on how this film finishes, which is quite disappointing.
That's one of my big gripes with it.
Some of the CGI is just horrifically bad. It really takes me out of it and reminds me, what year did this release again? I was like, yes, it's 2004, 3, 4? 2001. There you go.
We got there in the end.
We got the end. So I associate this film with a very key core memory. So I got picked up by my aunt and late uncle. I said, what have you been up to? And stuff. We went and saw Jurassic Park 3. I was like, what was it like? My aunt, shout out to Rob, who's very much been a very big part of my cinematic journey as well. She proceeded to explain the entire plot of the film, beat by beat. Should be great on the fifth period. Basically goes through the entire film. I was like, great, I don't need to see this movie now. Just like you love it so much.
I do like it. And another thing that I really appreciate about it is it's a shorter runtime.
We love it, tiny.
Hell yeah, we do. And it is the shortest Jurassic film runtime. So the other 5, and even the new one, are all over 2 hours long. This one comes in about 90 minutes.
I reckon another 10 minutes could have been handy.
Yeah, for a final little showdown. But considering when we talked about The Lost World, one of my biggest gripes was I felt like it should have finished when they get rescued from the island. Then having a shorter film where they do get rescued from the island and it's all contained there. Yeah, I almost want a middle ground, so maybe one more showdown on the island, but we don't need to take it to San Diego. It was originally going to be a longer film, but they were shooting without a finished script.
That was the big one.
Multiple storylines were completely scrapped, and it was also the first of the film series that wasn't associated with Steven Spielberg.
Or Michael Crichton as well.
Yeah, that's very true. So the guidance that they were used to having was just gone.
It's like
and,
Steve.
And Joey Jojo was on his own.
Steve's best mate, or one of his close friends.
But yeah, he described it as just an absolute hell of a project to work on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get the Amblin entertainment with the water stomping, a bit of a callback to the first film. Love that.
Don't mind it.
And also 3 claw marks through the title. Hell yeah.
Just a reminder, it's 2001. Let's
Oh,
go.
baby. I love it.
So we're kicking off in Costa Rica. Restricted. As I said you when I was watching this the other day, it just kept repeating that first part of the score. And I'm like, what kind of hell am I in?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch more of this film than I have to.
You were saying I truly am restricted from watching this movie.
Yep, in Isla Sorna. And yeah, we've got the old Parasail to a Dinosaur, which is a great name for a business. I think they've killed that. And speaking of getting murdered, this score is not good at all.
Yeah, so you mentioned the visual effects falling a little flat and the score being awful.
Well, no, like, it's pretty bad, but the sound design, I think, for a lot of it is just not great. Like, there's a few scenes, and I'll get to, it's just like, where's the music? Like, there's just nothing there. But Don Davis' score is not great. It's obviously, John Williams wasn't available.
He knew Spielberg wasn't associated.
Yeah, so I'm like,
I'm out of here.
Sorry, Joey Jojo, I'm not coming to help you. So Don Davis' score, like, borrows motifs and a lot of the elements of John Williams' score. And
They
we
do
get
not.
this, like, weird kind of like, oh, we're going to put, like, the Jurassic Park theme. It's, like, going to go a little bit minor key. And I'm like, don't do that. I don't enjoy this. But, yeah, basically, we've got this kid parasailing, Eric with Ben in the
It's a little
room.
bit of a bonding exercise. So we later find out the relationship there, but he's almost trying to do the fatherly role thing and
The
take him.
stepfatherly role.
Well, not yet. I think it's just a boyfriend. They only ever refer to him as a friend, but I think he's a bit more than a friend.
I think so.
Despite the fact that I wasn't taken out of the film by some of the visual effects later on with the dinosaurs, I absolutely was.
So bad.
With this green screen at the start. And I think the thing that makes it worse is there's some really nice looking wide shots.
Yeah, why?
And cutting between them makes it so much more obvious that the green screen is terrible.
It's like soaring in California, like a Disneyland ride. It just looks absolute.
Did you say
garbage.
Disney Bland?
No,
that's
but
good.
Of course I said that. That's fine. The end of the rope is sort of shaken when it's sort of going through the mist. Lots of mist in this film. There's love of
Your
good fog.
favorite ghost movie. The Fog.
Yes, with Tom Welling. And basically, the boat emerges out of the fog, and everyone's been killed. There's no bodies. There's blood, and it's been, I don't know.
Again, this feels like lazy writing.
Like,
They
it's
never explain.
Is it the Spinosaurus? Is it some underwater-based dinosaurs? Has it been a pteranodon that's sort of flown through there?
That's what it says when you try and look it up. A lot of people have speculated that they are responsible for it, but they haven't been let out of the cage yet. And it's a little inconsistent because even at the end of The Lost
This
World...
film inconsistent?
Well, even at the end of The Lost World, we do see some pterodons flying around. So it's like...
But not those ones.
not
Different
those
ones.
specifically.
Not in that cage.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, but they've got to
but
cut the rope and the rope.
The rope. They got to cut the rope, and they're freaking out. Like, I don't think they're in that much immediate danger. Even if the boat crashes on the rocks, they still have their parachute. Like, maybe they'll get like a jerking motion or something, but they're acting as if they're gonna die immediately.
The movie can't happen, if only. But boat crashes, they cut loose, and they're loose on the island. And I mean, like you can see what I wrote in terms of how bad the green screen
He
was.
wrote, "Look shit." Also, if you were parasailing and you had to cut the line, would you land on the beach or would you land right in the middle of the island?
Middle of the island, let's just get flying.
Infested with dinosaurs.
They couldn't see where they were going. Like, the logo's on the other side of the parasail. They don't even know the dinosaurs are there. Anyway, and then we get a very interesting dissolve to the kid playing with dinos. And I like this fake out. Looks like Alan and Ellie have finally got married. No, she's with somebody else.
Yeah, me too.
I enjoyed that.
I said the same thing when we did our rankings of it as well. I really like the fake out. Oh, and Alan's just as good with kids as he's always been.
He's good with
Actually,
parrots,
Charlie,
too.
those are herbivores. They wouldn't really be interested in fighting with each other.
It's like, great. Good chat with the little
Yeah.
kid just playing
Let
with
me
the
play
toys.
with my toys, Alan. Jesus.
Jeez, Dr. Grant. They have a good chat about the raptors. So clearly sort of planning to see that the raptors are a big focus in this film.
Alan talks to a parrot. A little bit of foreshadowing for his dream. I think,
Parrot.
but surely this is the justification or attempted justification for why he has that dream.
Maybe.
'Cause he's like, say my name, say Alan, and then the dinosaur says his name.
Yeah. Anyway, Alan's having a chat with a room full of people when he's guest speaking. Everyone's still very interested in what's happening with Jurassic Park, but Alan's basically saying, hey, I'm still a paleontologist. I need that sweet dollary doos.
Sweet dollary dues.
Sweet dollary dues.
Hell yeah. One of the main things that he's focusing on is raptors communicate
Yes.
vocally, and he's talking about the fact that they were quite sophisticated in those vocalizations and that they could team up and help each other and warn each other. Do you remember when we were doing The Lost World, you gave a howl of a velociraptor impersonation? Do you want to crack that one out again?
Go, go.
That's not bad. All right, you ready for mine? Alan.
I'm leaving.
Walked right into it.
Oh, dear. That's the best Billy impersonation. You're a liar.
Thank you. I really like when he's presenting, though. Like he's telling them to put their hands down, asking about his time on the island. But then he also says, or the incident in San Diego,
was a brilliant-
which I did not witness.
Yeah.
Like just reminding everyone, I wasn't in the second film.
Goldblum's not in this one. I am. I'm Sam Neill.
Pretty upset about that. But he has this like gravitas with some of his deliveries in this film. And I love when he's like, no force on earth or heaven could get me on that island. And you're like,
But
yeah,
hell could.
sure, Alan.
Hell could.
Some money could.
They get that money, this sweet dollary dues. But yeah, we meet like the little team. Sadusky gets the call from somebody who we're going to meet in a little bit. But we're going to meet good old Rhino from Craven the Hunter. It's Alessandro Nivola.
Hell yeah. I really like him. I don't know him as Rhino. I like him in Face Off.
Oh, yeah.
As Castor Troy or
Pollux.
Pollux Troy.
He's good.
He is good. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean I like him in this. I just meant I like him as an
I was
actor.
about to say, like, yeah, I said this sheer outrage on my face, and I was like, this character sucks. Even as Alessandro Nivola just says, like, this is the first time in my acting career where I had nothing to grasp onto for a character.
That's not true. He could grasp onto
a
his
backpack.
3D printed resonating chamber from the Velociraptor.
And then it goes, Alan.
Oh, very good. Very good. But he's basically Grant's assistant, and
Yeah.
William H. Macy turns up. I love
Paul
William
Kirby.
H. Macy.
Me too.
He's great. Invites
Shameless
them-
love for him.
Shameless.
Not from Wild Hogs?
No. Mystery Men.
Of course. The shoveler.
So a mystery man turns up, William H. Macy,
Nice.
and he invites them to dinner with his wife Amanda, offering a proposition that will be worth their while.
Yes. and
So
they-
he claims to be a bit of a thrill seeker and the head of Kirby Enterprises.
Yeah, and then as he explains, sitting next to good old Taya.
Tia?
Tia.
Tyre? I tire of her by the end of this, I'll tell you that much.
Good. But basically, they want Alan, like, to continue their adventuring. He wants Alan to take a fly over tour to Isla Sorna.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, you can't fly that low. It's like, oh, in my business, import, export, emerging markets, these sort of things. It's just real, like, business babble.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've got friends with the Costa Rican government. We can fly that low. And, like, how much money do you want, basically? And
Yeah,
Alan's
so
like,
he's initially hesitant, but then when they offer him money, he's like, oh, money? I love money.
I love money. I never get money because I'm interested in
I
dinosaurs.
haven't had money since the last time someone propositioned me with this.
I haven't had money since the last time I did a Jurassic Park movie.
On the plane, we've got Grant, we've got Billy, Paul and Amanda, and then we've got 3 guns for hire, Cooper, Nash, and Udesky.
Good. I'm glad you remember their names.
One of the things that I really like about this film is that it's a smaller cast, and you kind of
True.
know where everyone is, you can track it, you get
That's
to
good.
know the characters a little bit better than in the last film. People are getting mowed down left, right, and center, and it's all a little too hectic. Now, getting to know these characters isn't necessarily a good thing.
I was going to say.
Because
yeah.
the characters aren't all that likable. But what I'm suggesting is I like that it's a condensed cast and
Yep.
they take that step even further by knocking off a couple of the henchmen really quickly
We
as well.
love that. Very efficient. Tight runtime, tight cast.
Tight satchel,
Tight
bit of foreshadowing about
Yes.
the bag.
Loves the bag.
It feels a little forced, them talking about the bag, because he's like, oh, you're still carrying that old thing? It looks fine. It is a normal camera bag.
Damn you,
It
Alan
looks
Grant.
fine.
We've already established you guys don't have any money. It's not like you've paid for Billy's new bag, you idiot. Anyway, you should go take a sleep, Alan. That's fine.
Hell yeah.
'Cause then he wakes up, and then we get the most iconic line on the whole thing. Alan, with the Velociraptor and no one else on the plane, and god damn, it's silly.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Joey Jojo.
Joe.
It was a
He's
mi-
crying in the background. Wait, Joey Jojo!
No, he's crying, but like, that's cinema.
Oh dear.
Alan finds a way.
But like all Jurassic Park films, we get the main theme and sweeping shots of the island. We love that formula of beauty before it all turns to hell.
And we love it. Alan loves it, but no one else loves it. He's trying his best to be the best tour guide, and they're like, shut up, Alan Grant.
Yeah, everyone is clearly looking for something else, and Grant is just oblivious doing his tour guide routine. And they're like, is that it? No, I can't see anything.
Can't see
And he's like,
anything.
what are you talking about? There's dinosaurs everywhere, guys. How great is it?
Cackles this. I've never been here before. I've never been to Site B.
Oh, but it's pretty funny that he's like, you forget how good it looks. I don't think that line should have been delivered before the shot that it shows, because those
CG
those
mess.
CG ones are pretty average. I don't mind the effects later on, but these sweeping shots
It was
are...
a PS2 game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, Alan freaks out
Because
because
they
he's
say
like,
they're going to land.
he's like, we're not landing here. I'm freaking out.
Your Alan is getting good.
He's freaking out, man. He crashes out and he gets knocked out.
Cooper knocks him out.
And then he wakes up and it's like, please don't tell me we've landed. Billy should have been like, we haven't landed. And then he cuts to outside.
You told me not to tell you.
Yeah.
But
that's
everyone's
okay.
spread out searching, and
Yep.
Amanda is
Oh
calling
my
out for
God.
Ben on the megaphone.
Oh,
So annoying.
we
Amanda,
need a
honey,
microphone.
Dr. Grant says that's a bad idea.
What?
What's a bad idea?
Taglioni continuing to
Oh,
talk in
yeah.
this movie. It's so bad. Ben! Eric!
So the boys come running out from the tree line screaming, Eric, they say as they run in. Oh, so they all jump back on the plane, everyone except old Cooper.
No, but it's all good because I'd forgotten who these characters' names are. But then you got Alan in the back. That's Cooper. So delivery's so bad.
Someone want to explain to me how Cooper got like a kilometer down the runway faster than the plane?
Like it doesn't like Dusky say like, oh, he can handle himself.
Yeah,
well, he can handle himself on a
run
damn
as
rock.
fast as a plane. Hell yeah.
Run as fast as a raptor.
No, look, I think what has happened in this sequence is they've taken out a section where they go down and turn around with the plane. Because based on what side of the tree line he is on and where he's positioned, that is the obvious explanation for what's happened. But it's just really poor editing in terms of continuity there. So, yeah, not a huge fan of that. But I love the shot of them trying to pull up the plane and then the Spinosaurus running out and biting into Cooper.
And then just like, oh no!
Yeah, but then you get like the blood splatter on the window. Like it's a pretty cool shot.
It's fun. I like this, but it doesn't show the full dinosaur, which I like as well.
Yes.
Kind of reveals that for like a little bit later. But the plane kind of crashes into the jungle and they're stuck in the trees. And they're trying to basically work their way out. And Alan's like, I don't think we've landed yet. I don't know what voice I'm doing at the
Me
moment.
neither, man. Me neither.
The Spinosaurus attacks.
Yeah, so Nash drops out of the plane and the Spinosaurus steps on his back, crushes his Spinosaurus.
Love that.
And bites his little head off.
Yeah, just a little head.
Yeah, it's like a little it's like eating an individual pea. No one does that. You should take bigger bites.
Yeah, not just get his head in the whole damn thing.
But yeah, they've already knocked it down to 5 people, and then they pick up an extra 1 as they lose another 1. So we stay with like a cast of 5 for most of the film.
Thanks, Joey. This doesn't look great when there's everything
With the plane cabin falling.
It's just it's all like just I don't know. It's a bit. It's very messy and it's hard to keep track of sort of like what's going on sometimes. I think the animatronic like Spino looks really good, but some of the CGI stuff looks god awful.
Yeah, I didn't notice it too much with the Spinosaurus. I think I was too distracted by the slapsticky farce with like Amanda, or just the Kirbys in general. They're running out of the plane cabin, then they're running back into the plane cabin. William H. Macy sees the dinosaur and then runs back in.
The plane cabin, it's on a flat surface. Why is it rolling so much?
He's like rolling it back and forth.
It just looks ridiculous. Like, why would a Spinosaurus do that?
He's playing with his food. As much criticism as you give the CGI, one thing about this film that the other two don't really do is it has a lot of sequences with the dinosaurs that are shot during the day. And the other two films relied heavily on using like brief flashes of dinosaurs or using nighttime to hide some of the effects. And this one, for the most part, it's broad daylight.
That's fair.
And that's harder. So you do have to champion that it looks even this good.
I'll give Stan Winston and Joey Jojo this.
Nice.
That's all they're getting.
I love that they went to the effort of bringing an expert to the island with them just so they could ignore all of his advice.
Of course.
Nobody move a muscle. Everyone runs off. They leave a little smoke shape of themselves.
Fits in with the tone of this film. But I think the Rex looks really good. When it pops up his head, that looks great.
And it's a cool entrance too. I think we lost him, and then just pops up behind
He's like,
it.
hello, I'm still in this franchise.
Not for long, though.
Not for long at all.
The T-Rex and Spinosaurus go head to head.
It shows how threatening the Spino is. Like, well, yeah, I'm the new big bad. I'm the real sheriff around this island.
Oh, yeah. If the big bad from the previous film can die so easily, this ain't your grandpappy's Jurassic Park film.
No, this is the scene I'm talking about. There's no music at all. And this is a big moment, like, where the Spino's, like, taking down the big bad. Should be, like, momentous and really powerful. And there's no music. That's so weird.
When you were watching it, this is probably the moment where the negative texts were coming in thick and fast from you.
Hell yeah, I was. I was not a happy camper. It's like, what are we doing? What am I watching? What am I not hearing?
Yeah.
That was pretty poor. Considering this is a big moment, and I'm just like, just something like a bit of like dramatic score, like, you know, some really low brass or something like that, or strings to be like, oh damn, this is big.
Yeah.
And now it's just like,
Could have brought back like the T-Rex theme.
100%, and then like chuck that in like a minor key or blended it into like a Spino theme or something like that to be like, no, it's Spino's film. Like, he's the big bad. He's got his own ringtone after all.
But they do run off while they're distracted fighting each other, and Grant confronts the Kirbys, and they explain that they are divorced and tricked him into coming because their son Eric, from the start of the film, is trapped here on the island.
Indeed.
Well, they still think potentially with Amanda's new boyfriend Ben.
Yeah, and Alan's like, you probably need to sit down.
He puts on his best Tommy Lee Jones and goes, I don't care.
That's good.
Because Grant and Billy decide they're getting to the coast and they're going to use the satellite phone to call for help. And if the Kirbys want to look for their son, they can do it on their own. Either way, you probably won't get off the island alive.
It's good. Nice little push in with that as well. Sam Neill's great. He's the good part of this film.
You know what's the bad part of this film?
This scene with them getting changed.
Yeah, Paul and Amanda are rizzing each other up.
What riz?
You look good. Hell yeah.
Woo! Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Jurassic Park. Am I right? Damn. No wonder they had to move islands. It's just too much.
Why did that work? Even though Riz didn't fit into that.
I make it work.
You do make it work. Oh.
Jeez, you want?
The other big reveal at this moment too is that Paul is not a thrill seeker as he insisted. Seeing as
calls him out,
he can't even put a backpack on.
No. And he thinks
Useless.
He was basically, you were camping above the mountain, or Mount Kilimanjaro, I think.
Oh, he tricks him. He's a clever girl.
Nice.
But
Clever
his check is no good because Kirby Enterprises doesn't exist.
It's a hardware store.
Yeah,
With like a paint and tile.
It's a paint and tile.
Yeah.
In a strip mall, and the revelations are coming thick and fast.
And Alan's like, oh,
he's
brother.
like, you're not a mercenary, are you? He's like, I never said I was. Well, that's true. It's like, what?
You should be more angry, William H. Macy. God damn.
No, he's just, I really like him as this kind of pathetic character. And he gets a redeeming...
Plays those characters quite well.
He really does. And he gets a redeeming moment later on. But even his pronunciation of things here, tricycloplops or something, it's funny. It's really good. Or tricycloplops.
Tricycloplops or something like that, yeah.
Plops.
Plops.
Always funny.
Just plopping all over the
Always
place.
funny.
That's what the dinos do. Big plops too.
They find Eric's paraglider and camera, and someone has conveniently pre-edited the footage so that they can get a little montage of it. Lovely. Love that. But they also find the rotting corpse of Ben, and Amanda freaks out.
Wow, that is a scream.
Oh, yes.
And then I love, this is one of my favorite parts of the movie where Alan's like, get her back, Mr. Kirby. But when Macy's face is like, do I have to? Nah, we divorced for a reason. She kept screaming like that. That was crazy. But they stumble upon a raptor nest.
They do. It's pretty funny that she doesn't really care about Ben. He's like, I'm sorry about Ben. And she's like, oh, it's not Ben, it's Eric. I'm over Ben.
Only boyfriend. Yeah, because of that amazing riz during the changing scene.
They find the raptor eggs, and we get the nice slow zoom in on Grant again. Raptor. And Billy falls behind and is acting ridiculously suspicious.
So sus.
Tone it down a bit.
You can't.
But they find a facility, and Paul bets his bottom dollar that Eric's in there.
He does.
We gotta bring back that expression. Bet your bottom dollar.
Maybe tomorrow.
Nice.
It's only a day away.
That's very good. Amanda tries the phone like an absolute idiot. Why would that work?
Because I don't know.
Yeah.
She just wanted to scream down something else.
They give the Kirbys every opportunity to show how
Stupid
they are. Like Paul trying to access the vending machine.
It's like, anyone got any quarters? And Billy just
smashes it,
like,
and
cool.
he hurts himself trying to do the same thing.
That's great. And the test tubes are cool. Alan's like, this is what happens when you try to play God.
Again, it's a killer line.
Damn it, Alan Grant.
And do it in your southern Alan Grant.
Nah. This is how you play God.
Gal.
No, dude.
He does declare
He
that.
does declare the raptor fake out. Why is it there?
I like this as a little
A TV moment?
It's a cool effect. Like, I think it looks good, but yeah, I don't know that the raptors are, as much as they're called sophisticated in this film, I don't think they're sophisticated enough for him to be like, I'm gonna pull a prank on this lady.
And I'm going to go, tee-hee-hee. Oh, sorry, I would.
I do like them getting wedged behind the gate.
That's cool. Also, as well, just with the raptor redesign as well, because they get like the feathers on their head.
Yeah.
That's actually as a result of new research available at the time, sort of in the early 2000s. That's actually how I went back and found out more about the dinosaurs, and that's actually how raptors were. So it's a different feather, I think, to what it should have been, but that was kind of like, okay, cool, we know more about these dinosaurs, let's change the designs to fit that. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because all the paleo nerds were like, you idiots, that's not what dinosaurs looked like.
Michael Crichton was like, ugh. Steven Spielberg was like, double,
Hell yeah.
And then Joe Johnston was like, okay, I'll listen to you.
So the raptor calls for help as they make a run for it, but Udesky doesn't make it.
No, he doesn't. And then he gets used as bait. All the practical raptors, I think, look really good. But yes.
Velociraptors.
Oh, nice. Good stuff. That's good from you. Udesky's being used as bait, but Amanda falls for it.
Yeah, she falls for it in two senses of the word. She literally falls for it.
But the raptors jump at her, and then Udesky is killed with a quick snap of the neck, which I think was pretty brutal. Pretty cool. Alan's in trouble, about to sort of get taken down by the raptors. Who's there to save the
Saved by
day?
a smoke bomb. Jungle Boy Eric comes to the rescue.
Yeah.
Takes him to his little hideout.
Oh, my God.
You don't like this sequence?
Nah, just for one particular reason. So
T-Rex P? How'd you get it? You don't want to know.
And we never will. Like, how?
I mean,
How?
Maybe there was a puddle of it?
Explain yourself, Eric. You're a liar. Stop gaslighting Alan Grant.
This line doesn't work on any level. If you're not going to tell us in the movie, then don't put the line,
You don't
how
wanna
did you
know.
get it? Just say, I used T-Rex P, and then move on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Terrible script.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's a great little high symbol that you had there. Nice little crash symbol. That's what it is. Good little reference to good old Ian Malcolm.
Yes, he asks if he's read his book, and they bond over their dislike of
He's like kind of
Goldblum.
high on himself, and Alan's like, yeah.
That's what I keep telling Allie.
The family reunites.
They do, and it feels so good.
And it feels so good. It's like, oh, I heard your ringtone and everything. It's like, oh, but where was the phone? And then we get the Spinosaurus with the jump scare just being like, hey guys, in the background. This smash cut.
It's wild that they can hear the phone inside the Spinosaurus, but can't hear the Spinosaurus
Just go boom,
walking.
boom.
Well, it's because there's no sound design for it.
Oh, you're right. And I hate it. And then they like run through the gate. It's like, we're safe. And the Spinosaurus is like, you idiots. Bang! I'm going to run through the gate too. But then the little gate in the building is like,
Yes.
that's safe enough.
This angered me too. He smashes through the giant industrial fence, but then can't get through
This
the
little
teeny
door.
tiny
He's
little
like,
door.
oh no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No good. But they're sticking to their plan to go to the coast. Grant has spotted a boat.
What's
but
he
there's-
spotted as well?
The
I'm
eggs.
getting there. I'm getting there. The eggs. He's cussing out Billy. Billy's like, stop being mean to me. He basically says, like, you're no better than the people who built this island. I was like, whoa. Cutthroat.
There's some good lines here. He says he did it for the best intentions. He's like, some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best of intentions.
Great stuff.
It's a good
Great
line.
stuff.
But yeah, Billy's just
Just nothing.
yuck. He's terrible in this scene. Like, maybe the character's poorly written, but it's poorly performed as well.
It's a bit of both
It
happening.
needs some more nuance.
Needs some more rhino.
Yeah, yeah.
But speaking of great things, this sequence is awesome. This is
Good.
This is like probably my highlight of the film.
I agree.
I think it's really cool because we finally I think the set design's really cool as they sort of descend into this misty cave with the bridge. Alan almost dies because everything's like rusty, increasing that danger and tension. And then Amanda goes across
dark.
this bridge and they're trying to work out like where they are. It's all shrouded in fog, like all good things in this movie. Eric goes into darkness, but then like the fog sort of clears a little bit and Alan sees the top of it and is like, we're in a bird cage.
Yeah, the reveal of that is so
awesome.
cool. So Eric is walking along the bridge. The first two have gone across, and
He's like, Mom?
he feels it shudder, and then looks ahead and can see a figure, and it does look like
His
Tia
mum.
Leone. So I get why he thought,
Same level of noise.
but with it just kind of like walking towards it, it's really eerie. It doesn't do what I did. Fussy, fussy, fussy.
No, it just
Mark
slowly
the gram, mark the
slinks,
gram.
just slinks towards Eric, and then he realizes and screams, and yeah, the Pteranodon basically flies to go grab him.
snatches him up.
It's pretty cool.
And drops him on like a thing of like rock pylons.
Yes, with the little bubba Pteranodons.
They're pretty creepy.
Yeah.
But Billy needs to redeem himself. So he jumps out and uses the discarded parachute to
That they
to
took
rescue
earlier
him.
for some reason.
It does look pretty cool though.
I think
Him like
it's
flying down. Like
This is a very different sequence to I think anything that we've had in a previous Jurassic Park film, and that's why I
Agreed.
enjoy this.
yeah. I do think the birdcage scene was another one that, and I don't just call it the birdcage scene because Martha Graham. But I do think
I just got that reference. Thank you. So it's still a fairly fresh film for me.
Madonna.
Shout out to Robin Williams.
But this was an idea that was potentially going to come up in a previous film. We get
Yes.
another one of those later on with the boat sequence
Yep.
as well. But the effects just weren't readily available to do that.
can't
And
do the
I like
flies.
that they do bring it back because I think those two sequences are two of the best in the film.
Correct. Just showing that Spielberg's ideas were better.
Well, they're not even Spielberg's ideas. They were
Well, they're
Crichton's
Crichton's
ideas.
ideas.
Yeah. He does manage to save him and drop him down into the water below, and the others make their way down too, but Billy's parachute gets caught and he's attacked.
Yes. And then he's kind of just left for dead. And then you got that Pteranodon
I mean,
like,
they try to go save him, but then...
not really.
Well, that's like dunking him. They're like, he's dead.
Pretty much. That was
Yeah.
the vibe. It was like, what a useless character.
I mean, what are they going to do, though?
Oh, but they get scared off by that Pteranodon looking at the camera.
Yeah, well...
It's scary.
It's creepy. But the others are like, all right, leave him. They make it out to the boat. But bloody Amanda doesn't close the gate properly. And they really hold on this. They make it seem like it's going to lead
Yeah.
to something way more ominous.
No.
But all it leads to is just like a triumphant end shot of them flying off. Which everyone's fine with, by
They're
the
like,
way. No consequences for that. Pterodons or Pteranodons. Are they two separate ones, or am I just mispronouncing it?
Maybe.
I've heard it both ways.
That's fine. The big flyers.
The flyers.
The
yeah.
big bird.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
Big
yeah.
Bird from Sesame Street. There's lots of them.
Hell yeah.
But
on
yeah,
the boat,
Alan's like regretting his last chat with Billy, and I have that has no impact on me because I don't care about the character, so that's great.
it has very little impact on them because then they're like,
just like,
he
"Ooh,
was right, Billy
dinosaurs."
was right, and here's a nice moment with some dinosaurs again.
I like
Get
that.
Some Brachiosauruses.
We had to. We've got to get a couple
We haven't
of
Brachia seen them since the first film.
But they've Brachios. Yes.
They hear the satellite phone go off again, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what is it?" But it's just a big old
plop.
pile of poop.
It's a plop. It's
Nice.
a tricella plops. It's a spider plops. It's a big plop. They use a lot of oatmeal for this, apparently. That's how they got it done.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Gallons of it.
It's not as good without Malcolm there to be like, "That is a big pile of shit."
That is one big pile of shit.
That was
Just in
Jeff
time.
Goldblum looking at this movie.
That's good. So they managed to dig it out just in time, but it's just some advertising call.
Yeah.
Why would that go to a satellite phone?
I don't know.
Oh, God. But they come face to face with a...
I think it's an Allosaurus.
No, Ceratosaurus.
Is it? Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Alan
Grant.
I like the look of with the red and like the horn.
The red looks cool.
But it's a very brief encounter because it's
Yeah, mate.
scared off by the smell of the spinoplops.
The plops are there and the Spino is not too far behind. As you said, like we get this nice sort of like where they're on the boat in the rain and everything like that at night time.
Looks good.
I think it's cool.
They took the page from the first Jurassic Park film and said, "Yep, big dinos look good at night in the water."
And it does, and it looks really cool. This is the animatronic. I did get to see it when I went to Los Angeles. Props and costumes and masks and stuff like that, and they actually had the head of the Spino in there.
Had they fixed the issues that they encountered with the first film with it getting like weighed down by the water?
No, apparently, Stan Winston was excited about doing all the stuff in daytime and everything like that, and then he was like, "Nah, we're doing this one at nighttime in the rain." It's like, Joe, you bastard! But I think they try to work it out. But apparently at the time, or it still might be like in the history books for being one of like the biggest animatronics of all time.
Right.
So it was very weighty. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Nice. As I said, this was a scene that was in the first book.
Yeah.
But again, the effects weren't ready for it. It does look like in the new movie they're going to be doing a bit of a nod to that scene as well.
Yeah, that looks cool.
It does. It looks really cool. Basically, Alan calls Allie and
Gets Charlie on the phone.
answers. So funny that he gets distracted by like the Barney.
The real
TV show.
dinosaur.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. They protect themselves from the Spinosaurus by jumping into a cage on the boat.
Yep.
But then the Spinosaurus sinks it. That clever girl.
It is a clever girl.
Allie calls back, and with his last opportunity to call
Site
for
B,
help...
river!
Does he say Site B?
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. And I was like, why, with his one word,
River!
would he yell river?
River Phoenix!
The river! That's all I heard. So Macy gets his hero moment here because after they sink, he kind of swims out and
Yep.
then he distracts the Spinosaurus while the others swim to safety. Then Alan gets his Jaws moment here with "you son of a bitch." Blows it up. There's some gas that's kind of spilt into the water. He uses a flare gun.
That looks cool. I like
It
the
does.
fire,
Looks really good.
fire on the river. I think that looks great.
And then Macy gets to do his, "I'm not going anywhere unless you keep screaming."
And then the Spino basically is like scared off by the flames and goes away. And we're going to go to the coast. That's where we're going.
We are, because they can hear the ocean, but they have one more run-in with the raptors first. Now, look, this scene is
Terrible.
very lackluster. But I will say I like the parallel with both the raptors and the Kirby's protecting their baby. I think that's a nice little parallel there. And Amanda slides the eggs back to them, and then Grant blows into his 3D printed Velociraptor resonating chamber.
But he can't get the pitch right.
Their reactions are so good. The Velociraptor's like, "What, mate? What
You
are
what?
saying?
You what?
Don't live here, don't surf here," they say. "Don't have a Velociraptor's mouth, don't blow into a Velociraptor's resonating chamber," they say.
Here.
Here.
Don't forget that here. Don't worry, we'll explain that reference very shortly.
Oh, God. But Amanda slides the eggs back to them, and I like when Macy critiques him. "No, call for help. He doesn't know what he's doing. He can't just...
You need to speak in E flat.
Thank you for the music.
The eggs I'm giving. But hey, the helicopter comes, and who is this man on the beach?
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I
The whole
don't know.
army arrives, the Navy, the SEALs. There's a pack of SEAls, there's SEAL dinosaurs. Wow, Billy's alive. I couldn't give a rat's.
No, look-
Couldn't give a raps.
So it feels that's good. It feels like there's going to be another encounter because they're like warning him against calling on the megaphone, but then the army arrives from nowhere. It is
They
a wide
appear.
shot, and they are not in any of the background.
It sucks.
It's so strange.
They've come from underwater.
It's really, really strange. They just appear. They have to cut back to the Kirby's reactions because otherwise they would literally just appear in the screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
no good. Helicopters, tanks, it's wild.
And then somehow
It's
Billy has
amazing they
returned.
found them though, and not just went searching for them in a random river.
Imagine if they got the wrong river. And then I rescued your hat. Here's your hat, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it really is that.
And that's Jurassic Park 3.
It is, and we get the triumphant pterodon release.
Oh, of course. They're going to wreak havoc. And then Helen's like, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to dream of raptors again.
All right, so we've had a lot of fun poking fun at this. I like this film. It's very silly. Obviously, there's a lot that I have made fun of as we were talking through it today.
Me too.
The reason that I still think it kind of holds up is because it is fun. Like, the silliness almost works. They take themselves a little too seriously in the Jurassic World films later on, and you lose some of the goofiness of these originals.
That's fair.
I also think
I'd agree with that.
it's just a real strength to have Grant in the leading role again. I quite like The Lost World, but I think that Grant is a better leading man than Malcolm is. Having them together would have been nice again,
I would,
playing off each other.
it was a bit of a tease.
Get
as
rid
well.
of Billy, bring in Ian.
Get rid of Billy, bring in Ellie. I like Laura Dern as like a character a lot, and their chemistry's really good. And it's just like, bring that in.
Nah, but she's like, no Spielberg, no Ellie here.
Oh,
Anyway, shall we move on to our weekly watches?
let's do it.
Weekly watches. Weekly watches. I love you.
Okie dokie. So I am going to kick things off with a couple of films I watched this week that I found underwhelming. So the first one is House on Haunted Hill. Now, there have been a couple of remakes of this one.
Yeah.
I think this one that I watched was in the 90s. It feels very 90s if it wasn't. It should have been so much better. The set for it is awesome. It's like an old mental asylum.
Oh, I love that.
And the cast, Jeffrey Rush, Femke Jensen, Ali Larter, Taye Diggs, Peter Gallagher, Chris Kattan.
Oh my god.
It should have been awesome, but it really isn't.
1999 apparently. There you go.
It's a terrible, terrible film. Old Jeffy Boy is having
the
a
millionaire?
whale of a time as the millionaire.
Oh,
that-
that's the first thing that comes up, and I'm like, yeah, love
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Casanova Frankenstein's
He's
back.
channeling Vincent Price, and he works at a theme park and does all these like fake out scares at the theme park. And yeah, it's a bit of fun for a really eccentric performance, but the rest of the film is just so lackluster. The story sucks.
Damn.
Really, the only thing I enjoyed about it was seeing Chris Kattan in like this really erratic role as well.
Yeah, good.
I would love to
James
see
Masters
him
is in it?
Very briefly.
That's
but
cool.
yes, he is. Old Spiky Boy.
Little spiky.
Something else really weird about it, it randomly has sequences out of time. So like it will skip
Why?
as if someone has made a mistake and kind of mixed up the reels.
Huh.
It doesn't seem to serve any purpose. It's very confusing when you watch it.
That's real
and
weird.
It just jumps around. Yeah.
Don't like that.
I'm kind of curious for your opinion on it. So even though I've just said it's terrible, go watch it.
No, I will. Maybe. First off, of my weekly watches, smashed back through Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Friday the 13th Final Chapter.
Nice.
Both films that I have a really good time with. I think Tobe Hooper's 70s slasher is just great. It still holds up as well. I think it's a terrific film.
Listeners, you might remember part 4 from our 5 favorite dance sequences in a movie.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely pulled the rug out from underneath us on that one, Mr. Boylan.
And it was great.
Crispin
For your
Glover
reaction.
dancing around.
I mean, he's obviously a really excellent part of this film. I think this is the pinnacle of the Friday franchise. Maybe the next one, Jason Lives, is pretty good. But we get Tommy Jarvis's introduction, well played by Corey Feldman, who's having
Hell
a really
yeah.
good time. This iteration, I think, sits between the silly and the slasher very well. And yeah, it's good fun.
Nice. Next for me, the other film that I found a little bit underwhelming was Mars Attacks. So I'd never seen it before. The
Really?
Tim Burton film that
Ah.
has a bit of a cult following. Like,
I
it's a
would
cult
say so.
classic,
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, it just didn't land for me. So again, huge cast: Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Brosnan, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michael J. Fox, Natalie Portman, Jack Black, Christina Applegate, and they're all just not doing good versions of themselves. Does that make sense? Like, I would rather watch all of them in another film.
That's fair.
All their performances feel underutilized. The film is about Martians attacking, so a lot of them get kind of wiped out of the film pretty early on.
Yep.
It's just weird. It's really weird.
It is a weird film.
I've said it before on the pod. I can't get around weird for the sake of weird.
That's fair.
I like a lot of really quirky films. Obviously, I like Tim Burton films. I've shouted my appreciation for Beetlejuice. But yeah, this just, I don't know what they're going for. It doesn't really seem funny, even though it's trying to be jokey the whole time. The action sequences are underwhelming. The design of the aliens is shocking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
it just doesn't feel like they fit into the same world. I mean,
Okay.
they're not.
That's the point.
They're from Mars, but like they're animated in such a cartoony way. It doesn't work for me.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of people love this film, but
I wouldn't say it's not my favorite Tim Burton film. I don't mind it, but yeah, fair enough.
it also just feels like it goes a little long.
I would agree with that.
The concept comes out pretty early on, and then we just see a lot of the same thing. People just getting picked off. But yeah, anyway, those are my baddies.
Fair enough. I've got a couple more left on my list, and one of them is The Burbs, which one you've recommended a few times.
Corey Feldman again.
He's back.
I knew he would be someday.
That's him. Another Joe Dante classic. It's just good fun. Obviously, Tom Hanks leading was a good cast. Got Corey Feldman, Brucey Dern in there. Yeah, it's just good fun about this like whole sort of like paranoid neighborhood gated community. And I think it's fun sort of like playing with that paranoia, this kind of like social thriller a little bit, but then also getting into a little bit of horror, a little bit of comedy as well. I just had a fun time watching it.
Yeah, I love that film, and we've done it on the pod as well.
Yep.
If you want to go check it out, but I'm so glad you enjoyed it because it's one of my favorite horror comedies, maybe even just one of my favorite comedies. I think the cast is so well paired up against each other.
Agreed.
And
Yep.
Yeah, it's a real ensemble film.
Yeah, it is. It's a very much like just a really even film. No one really sort of stands out too much. Everyone's really shining in their roles, and yeah, ends up being a really fun time. So The Burbs from Joe Dante. Check it out if you haven't.
Nice. I'm going to talk The Passenger, the Carl Gellner film.
I'm glad you watched that.
So Carl Gellner and Johnny Berthold, is it? I really enjoyed this film. Really, really enjoyed it. I mean, Carl Gellner makes it. His performance is what draws you in because it's quite a slow burn. There's something like an inciting incident at the very beginning of the film that's pretty impactful.
Yep.
But then for the rest of the film, it's more about you feeling unsettled and the tension of what could potentially happen. Carl Gellner is just like terrifying in this role, but also no matter what he does in terms of like the bad things that he's doing, also quite charming as well. And it's a really interesting balance because in his own way, he thinks he's kind of the hero of the story and he's doing a good thing, no matter how bad he gets in doing it. So yeah, it's a really interesting character study, I think. And I just love a bit of Carl Gellner. I watched Smile 2 recently. He's got a small role in that, but always good to see him.
He's great.
Old Flash.
Old Carly Gals. And it's a good film. Glad you really enjoyed it. One for me was a bit of a rewatch and a film I've seen a lot of times from one of my favourite directors, who is Martin Scorsese, and it's Cape Fear. The remake of Cape Fear. I really, really love this film. I actually never have, and I probably should.
They're both good. Both really good.
We do get a little Gregory Peck cameo in this, which I highly enjoy. When he plays Max Cady's lawyer after he's been beaten up, which is great. I think this is one of Robert De Niro's career best performances. He is equal parts terrifying and magnetic. Everyone is just firing on all cylinders in this film. Nick Nolte's great. Jessica Lange. Juliette Lewis as well, in one of her sort of like early film roles, is really fantastic. Score is obviously like a bit of a rework of the original, but it hits, unlike the Jurassic Park III rework of the original score. I love the Soul Bass title sequence. There's just some brilliant shots of when like Katie's like on the fence with the fireworks going off and everything in a cinema. Obviously, the last clash on the river, being well ripped off, or paid homage to, I should say, from The Simpsons with Sideshow Bob. Yep. I really enjoy that. I think Simpsons reference for you. There you go.
Thanks, mate.
No, hey, I don't give out too many, so you gotta be appreciative of when they happen.
You did 2 today. Hey, Joey Jojo.
I know, it's pretty good. But yeah, Cape Fear is awesome, and I highly recommend it. Even if it's not like the cool underground film. Hey, I like King of Comedy as well, though. It's still really good. Again, with De Niro and Jerry Lewis.
Pretty lady.
Yeah. Cape Fear's great. So
nice. Next, I'm going to talk about Slither, the James Gunn horror comedy. I love this film. I hadn't seen it for a very long time. Yeah, I reckon I was a teenager when I first saw this.
Oh, wow. And
it's because you watched it. It was back on my radar.
Watched the first time last year.
But it's a little hard to come by, so it took me a while to get around to it.
I've got it on Blu-ray. It's just daft.
Oh, I did not know that. There you go. It's so fun. And Nathan Fillion in this is awesome. Elizabeth Banks is great in it as well. The effects are disgusting and
proper
so
Cronenberg-y
good.
sort of body horror stuff. It's like a bit like The Brood almost.
It is a little bit like that. It's certainly not a original concept. It's a tried and true body swap, hive mind kind of vibe to it.
But it's good.
But it's funny as well, and everyone is just really good in it. And I told you that one of the things that I love the most is that it's set in almost like a redneck kind of town.
Yeah, so
and everyone's a little
Carolina.
Like, well, when everything goes down, we're all going to grab our shotguns and just go out and fight. And it's great.
It's really good.
Really fun.
Michael Rooker, who plays like sort of the guy who gets the parasite, is really, really
Patient
good.
One.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Obviously, he's done a lot of work with. I think he's been in pretty much every single one of James Gunn's films now.
Even cameos in that TV series Scream Queens, the reality show.
Oh, yeah.
That James Gunn was a judge on.
Rooker's everywhere.
Hell yeah. You should check that out still.
I still need to, yes. Nice. Last one for me, and I know there's one you've seen as well, so we can unpack it together and ride the waves of The Surfer. Don't live here, can't podcast here. Expect to hear that a few more times in the coming weeks. This film had a lot of potential. I brought it up at Tantalizing Trailers, I think, last year or early this year as something that looked really cool. It's got some Wake and Fright vibes. It's very, like, saturated, bright, stark, sort of sunny Australian conditions.
The characters are too caricature-y for me.
That's fair.
It feels a little too forced. One of the strongest parts about Wake and Fright is that it's terrifying to see
authentic.
The reality of what some of those outback kind of towns are like. Whereas...
Or like the Royal Hotel.
Yeah, love me the Royal Hotel. But yeah, this one feels a little too forced. Like a couple of people have seen those types of films and are trying to replicate them.
That's maybe what this...
$500 reduce. You had 3 Simpsons references. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, mate.
You're welcome.
I called him Chaz Wallace.
Julian McMahon's quite good in this as like kind of the bad guy, and then he's not the bad guy, and then he is the bad guy. There's just like some stuff that's narratively it just doesn't quite land for me. Like I don't mind sort of like a bit of ambiguity about sort of a film, but I feel like it gets a bit too almost ambiguous about sort of what's going on.
Yeah,
but I think
too many ideas that don't come together.
No, and I think the setting's really cool. I think it's a brilliantly shot film.
Yep.
It looks great. Cage is awesome, and it's like it's.
Classic descent into madness.
I expect nothing less from him, particularly at this stage of his career. I still think he's one of the best actors working today, even if people think he's a bit like a bit of a joke. And I was like, you don't get it, and that's okay. Turned into Arbed from Community. Oh, yeah!
I'm a cat. I'm a sexy cat.
Oh, so good. But yeah, I had a good time with this film, but considering this was something I was pretty hyped up to watch, I was left a little bit disappointed.
That's fair. I just want to quickly mention Deep Cover, which I spoke to you about. It's the new Bryce Dallas Howard, Orlando Bloom, Nick Mohammed film. I found this film to be a real redemption of Argyle for Bryce Dallas Howard.
I love that.
Because I really do like Bryce Dallas Howard, but
She's
there's
good.
some things that she's in that I don't really engage with.
I just saw the Black Mirror episode actually that she's in, and that's really good.
Which is highly regarded by people, but I don't like it as much because to me, it's Meow Meow Beans from Community. They've just like ripped off that entire idea.
Oh, true.
Yeah. And so that always bothered me that it was
But she's
so
good in it,
familiar.
though.
She is good in it, yes, 100%. But she plays a character you're not supposed to really like.
No, it's kind of like Meow Meow Beans and like almost like a bit of Ingrid Goes West as well.
I'm not sure I know that.
You should watch that. That's good.
Okay. But Deep Cover is about three people who are in an improv comedy troupe, and essentially a cop hires them to go undercover for him. And originally it's supposed to just be like a low stakes kind of thing, but because they are trained in the art of yes and, they end up going further into it.
I like
and
that.
then
That's
get
cool.
brought into this kind of seedy underworld, and everyone starts thinking that they're like these big kingpins in the operation.
That's fun.
It's really fun. So like
check it out.
it's not like an amazing film, but it's just a good fun watch.
Well, I like Nick Mohammed obviously as Nathan Shelley, the Wonder Kid. The Wonder Kid from Ted Lasso, and I haven't seen Orlando Bloom in anything for a really long time. Like I think one of the last films I think he was in was Gran Turismo, which I had no interest in watching, and then probably the last thing I might have seen him in was probably when he makes a bit of an appearance in the Hobbit films.
But yeah, he's really good in this.
Okay.
He's probably the best part in this.
Oh, good.
Last thing I'm going to mention very, very quickly, Stick, the new Apple Plus TV series. The reason I want to mention it, lots of people have been making parallels between it and Ted Lasso.
It's a big parallel to make.
Yeah, it's not true. I wanted to
Spoiler alert.
I wanted to forewarn you of that.
Thank you.
But it's still good. It's
Okay.
just not Ted Lasso good, because it's
What
not going
is?
to be.
Yeah.
But it's Owen Wilson. It's a sports kind of dramedy. They refer to it as a comedy, but it definitely has some pretty dramatic moments in it as well.
What's the premise, Mr.
So
Brown?
he is an ex-golfer who lost his mojo and he's working at a driving range.
Oh, happy
and
one
then-
too.
and then a kid comes in who's the next big thing, and he decides he's going to coach him. But the kid's a little hard to manage, and it's about how he can come up with like alternate ways to get the best out of him. And it's really enjoyable. I've seen the first maybe 5 episodes of a 10-episode season. They're still releasing weekly now.
Are they like a 25-minute episode or a 45-minute
I
episode?
think they're only short. I think they're only about half hour. So
okay.
it was a very easy watch. But I just love Owen Wilson. We were talking about I Spy recently, and it got me in the mood to watch something with him in it.
That's fair.
Yeah, so we'll see how it develops. But there's just not the same level of camaraderie between the characters that you get in a Ted Lasso. And the endearing sort of qualities
Yes.
from each of the ensemble cast members as well.
Yep, that's fair.
Cool. Alrighty, guys, we're going to wrap things there. As always, please remember to like, subscribe, share it around, and make sure you are commenting with ideas for films or other segmentes you'd like us to tackle in future. Also, with Jurassic World Rebirth coming out, I'm going to re-edit our rival rankings as mentioned. That should be coming out later this week as well. So
Hell yeah.
you can revisit that, and we'll have lots of visuals to support this time. So keep an eye out. Alan Grant might say the great thing about Bones is they never run away, but unfortunately, we have to. So thank you very much, guys, and catch you at the next film club.
When dinosaurs ruled the earth.